Hey fellas, how are we? Y'all ever get put into a lobby where the closest your team can get to an even game is an asteroid hitting your local data center? You ever have a game where every action feels like a 24-carat run of bad luck? As a solo engineer in Battlefield 6, this happens more than I care to admit. But we don't quit. Even if we can't win, we turn what should be a landslide loss into the hardest fought game. In today's video, I'll show you a match of Siege of Cairo escalation where the game was rigged from the start. I was up against a really coordinated and high-skilled team. My own mechanics kept failing me over and over, and flags were dropping like flies. Unlike my usual games, this one's going to be a voiceover, and I'm going to go play by play and give you positional and gameplay tips, analyze what I did right, and most importantly, dissect what I could have done better. If you want to get better decision making, positioning, and staying effective when everything is upside down, this one's for you. Alright fellas, Cairo with the M433 with the sexy iron sights. The build is on screen now. I don't want to see any comments asking for what gun I'm using. Please. Anyways, you guys know I love me a good rollout. And in this case, I give that guy a backdoor surprise. And I spawn left. So I drive left side of the road, straight to the point. My goal is to get to the break in that wall there. I'm trying to intercept the Jeep, but he slides past. I blast this guy with the 50 cal. And his scientist buddy takes out an RPG, which, not the move. If you're fighting a Jeep, shoot with your gun. The RPG is not going to one-shot anyways. Please, just shoot him. But yeah, I cap D from these crates every single time as I showcase the worst tracking of all time. Don't judge me. I cap D from the crates every time because it gives you extremely good cover from both sides of the street. And you have this little crack here where you can control enemy spawns. But you'll notice I use it on a lot of points. I'll control my exposure as much as I can and just peek only directions which I can fully cover with my field of view, or at least most of it. I believe if you're a tactic nerd, it's called pieing the corner. We do lots of pieing in these videos. But yeah, Snake gets me. If you noticed, I actually killed Snake on the quad bike, so fair play to him. Here I'm trying to spawn on my squad, made to clear out these second floor buildings here. Because if you don't clear them out, it's just instant and constant spawns. You can just never get full coverage of D. It's just super annoying. And then if you get on this balcony here on the HVAC units, you can control the spawns coming out of B and C. You can control the back alleyways. And the HVAC units provide good cover from the guys behind you. Like if you're like my teammate and you stand outside of the HVAC units, you just die. But you and I, we play smart, so that doesn't happen to us. But yeah, good little power position. You'll see it very often in my games. So right here, I'm looking at my map, and I noticed that we see a couple enemies popping off where the overturned bus is on the road from C to F. I see we have no teammates in this direction. The enemy's likely have their backs turned, so I'm running at this point. And we have more and more enemies popping up. I'm getting low-key pretty fucking hard at this point. And lo and behold, they're all here. Backs turned, suppressor, building, high ground, easy kills. I mean, come on. I also, you know, I'm cheating a bit because I've already played this game, so I know exactly what's going to happen. I'm not exactly omnipotent as much as I aim to be. But yeah, at this point, I've noticed that we've lost every point on the goddamn map, and I started having this inkling that I may have to do some heavy lifting. So I killed the first guy here. And I assume the second guy's watching the corner of the bus, so I go around to peek him from the other angle. In this case, doesn't even matter, because that guy's an absolute brainiac and revives his teammate in full view over half our fucking team. Don't do that. If in his position, the smart play is to either hold the angle or just run away and act as the spawn anchor, since he's the only teammate of his that's alive over there. So just wait for your squad to spawn back on you, make a second attempt, reset. Here, I'm trying to get to B. This guy, okay, pro tip, please get on the 50 cal. It is so strong. You don't need to run anybody over. It's honestly faster if you just switch to 50 and just kill him. But this time I'm on B. This is my preferred method of capping B, right in this back corner. You have the foliage in the planter in front of you, watching the archway coming out of HQ spawn. It's both cover and concealment. You have access to watching your right side. This time it's not very important because we have teammates on the map that are pushing the D road from that side. But also we can watch behind us in the archway we came in from. And if HQ guys actually get past that archway, you can flank using the hallway to your left and get around them and try to kill them on the head glitch, like peering over the side of the terrace. So I'm just a very strong position. Keep that in mind. Here I'm trying to get back on B, and by B I mean D. I see these guys in the power position, so I'm like, okay, I gotta clear them out. And I get my fucking shit rocked by NK6974. Remember this guy as he shit cans 2 of my teammates as well. He's a bit of a recurring character, and he's part of a larger recurring cast in this one. But yeah, at this point, I'm trying to just get D back. I think the center in Cairo is so important because like vehicles and infantry can lock down both the flanks, and the center just provides the best spawns to make it any part of the map. So I see that our squad mates are having trouble pushing from the rear, so I'm trying to push this archway side and actually get around the enemies that are giving them trouble. And we have teammates in the bus, so I feel confident pushing left. We see that guy up there, but I'm like, surely the teammates will attract them. No, in fact, they don't. NK kills me a second time. And I guess I'm a fucking idiot for thinking that my teammates may want to, like, shoot the enemy, right? But you should assume these things at this point. It's like Murphy's Law, you know? The worst thing that can happen does happen. You gotta plan for it. But as if that wasn't enough, we get killed a 3rd time by NK6974. So at this point, fellas, my tilt is going up, all right? I'm getting a little bit pissed off. It's not too bad quite yet. Still plenty of room to grow. And fellas, it grows, all right? This game, it grows. It becomes gigantic. But that's in the future. But at this point, we've lost all the points that we just spent, like, time capping. So I kill bro 1 here, and I'm like, all right, you know, reset. We're back in black. We're back in black. And this guy dies, right? No, he fucking doesn't die. Of course not. At this point, fellas, there's like, I'm at hella tilt. All right, I'm at like tilt level 2, maybe tilt level 3, maybe 3.5 at this point, and I'm fired up. All right. And not the good kind of fired up. The very bad, like I'm talking about the starting a state militia type of fired up. All right. But I try to harness that energy. Try to harness it a little bit. Yeah, at this point, I'm just trying to flank this top of the roof again, just because I don't want these guys picking off my teammates. We can hear him. But this guy got burnt to a crisp. So fair play to the team there. At this point, I'm hearing footsteps to my right on the catwalk. I should have known they were on the catwalk, actually, because my teammate died there. But instead, I see all these dudes pushing from the overturned bus on the C to F road. So I'm thinking, okay, we have to lock them down. D cannot fall. And I make a classic mistake. I always take cover in this bus, but I forget that it has line of sight of the first floor. But I get super lucky and actually kill that guy. And then, you know, like an absolute fucking coward, I jumped the shell crater. But I'm just trying to watch a different angle here, prevent the crossing of the road. I killed the one guy behind us, luckily. Teammate goes down, but there's no chance I'm going to get him here. If we try to revive him, it's just going to be instant death for both of us. So not worth. Especially since I'm the furthest pushed up. Yeah, but now I'm actually watching the correct line of sight. I'm just waiting for some teammates to push up. And here, you know, I decide, shit, I'll get off the pot, you know, let's push. So while those guys in the second floor are preoccupied, I get around them, and one down, and the second one goes down. So pretty easy. And I nope out of there real quick. Now here, hindsight 2020, but this is a bit of a mistake in my opinion. Like, we're losing D. We've lost all the other points. Right here, I should have gotten aggressive and killed them and pushed to C. Or I pushed them, died, and redeployed and defended one of our objectives. Because if we actually had D, staying here would make sense because I'd be the only one left. I'd be protecting the flank. I get pretty lucky here. But as it stands now, the guys I'm killing are somewhat inconsequential to actually keeping the points alive. And I got killed due to insane netcode behind a fucking wall, which is awesome. I love Battlefield 6 netcode. I think we all love it. I think it's probably the best netcode we've ever played, right? For sure. So here, I spawn on the LAV at F, because I'm concerned they're going to start pushing that based off the fact we had no friendlies on the map. And yeah, so now we have an LE pulling up, so I'm like, okay, I got to get damage on it to even the odds, because it looks like he got first shot in our LAV. But I pull a bit of a boneheaded move. First of all, my RPG goes to Narnia, and second of all, I get killed by the guy in the spot that I was just at. I really should have known he was there. But, you know, you live and you learn. Right here, I spawn at E because I see there's enemies, like, percolating through our entire lines, right? They've already pushed past the D archways. They're in the alleyways behind us. So, in order to keep E, my idea here is to cut them off by this alley here. But, yeah. It doesn't end well, because I try to push this guy. I kill him, and then 2 of his closest friends just pull up. Sorry, 3 of his closest friends pull up, so now they got a gaggle of guys. But yeah, now that I know they're there, I spawn right back on E, because now it's actually a serious threat. They have at least 4 guys. They've been LAV pushing. We're going to battle problems, alright? So, because we have a smaller concentration of forces in these back alleys, that's where I'm going to go. And I'm going to employ the same strategy of just try to root them out. Yeah, this dude just got a little bit unlucky. But yeah, I pushed the same alley. This is a very strong place to push because you have a head glitch on this destroyed wall here. And you can very much control the amount of exposure you have to the enemy. But at this point, I just got hit by bullshit. I don't know if it was a guy with a pistol or I think the LAV splash damage maybe. I don't know, but something was doinking me and I was not liking it. But it looks like we secured like that area of E. So I'm like, okay, time for a nice push on D. And let's see, peek and RPG to the face. Oh my god, yeah, at this point in the game, fellas, there was like steam coming out of my ears. I was actually like, I was getting like legit tilted. Like this was supposed to be a very chill gaming session, you know, after a long day where I do all the shit I need to do for the day. You know, I log on, I'm like, okay, I want to record some footage for, you know, it's a different video. I need some background stuff. I need to level the M433. You know, just stuff like that. And no, I get thrown into the sweatiest of games. With some interesting team balancing, which we'll see at the end. But you gotta pay the piper. You gotta pay the piper. The thing is, I hate quitting games. Like, even in situations where I'm getting tilted, I make it a point not to quit. But hold on. Kill this guy and... What are you doing, bro? Brewski, what are you doing, my man? By the way, this is recurring character number 2. He's gonna make a bit of a guest appearance later on. So, you know, definitely stay tuned for that, because it's a bit of a situation. But yeah, you know, I think what happens sometimes is you just win too many games in a row, and the matchmaker's like, all right, fuck this guy. And I think this session was my comeuppance. I think every game I played was like a bit of a grinder. But yeah, so I spawn on E here. I noticed that they're pushing heavy with a vehicle, and we have 1 vehicle on as well. And I had a suspicion this tank was not going to make it without me. So my goal here is to, first of all, watch his ass, because my #1 move here would be to go around like that guy did and just RPG his ass. So enemy team pretty competent. But what I'm going to keep doing, I'm going to repair him until my repair tool goes on cooldown. I'm going to get in the gun, shoot until I can't no more. He gets, you know, too low. Then repair him again. Just kind of maximize my effort. And in the gun seat, what I want to be doing is spending about half my time looking behind. And also sometimes hitting slide 699 with the old jump slide. Now, of course, being my mobile cover, this tank decides to leave and try to get me killed, but I don't let it happen. Another fun fact about vehicles, you can actually hear enemy footsteps while inside them, even in first-person view, which is hilarious. So I'm actually listening for footsteps to my left right now. Another interesting tidbit This has been in the game for like probably 20 years. But you actually get out of the vehicle depending on which side you turn your turret to. So you'll notice that when I want to like get out behind the tank and repair it, I just turn my turret all the way around and I leave to that side. So if you're a vehicle player, especially if you're a gunner and you want to support your pilot, absolutely don't just like look forward and get out. That's just instant death and you're both dead. But yeah, right here, I saved this guy by the skin of my teeth, and we just saw that RPG coming from behind, so immediately I'm looking back, and I get that guy before he lands his final shot. So that was also quite lucky. Quite fortunate that I was vigilant there. But yeah, essentially just by being on this dude's ass and doing the Lord's work, we keep the tank alive and we actually cap E. Unfortunately, as you will see here in a moment, bro shows absolutely zero urgency, to the fact that we're losing the fucking game. And he is going to drive this entire street in crawl speed mode, despite there being no fucking mines on the road, dude. What are you doing? I was... I was so disappointed that there is no, like, local chat in this game. I love games of local chat, because I'd be giving this guy a piece of my mind. But yeah, because he was so slow, he actually leaves this LAV to live, right? Because if we both shot in the ass there, it would be fucking dead. But now we have to, do some gymnastics to try to get to him. But anyways, back on D, back on the crates as promised. I pretty much live in these crates when I'm on D. Because you can do stuff like this. You just peek for a quick second, kill one guy coming across the corner, peek the corner a second time, turn around again, get another guy. Reload on the far side, good cover. Now at this point I'm low, so I'm on the far side of the crate using the foliage as cover. Just constantly peeking, trying to get picks, trying to whittle down the enemy on point. And finally we got a vehicle coming in. Our LAV's pulling up. Notice our tank is still keeping a good distance behind. I think he's a little bit nervous. But it's no bother. Yeah, here I just get kind of lucky. I think that guy was like scratching a nut or something. I don't know. Now here I see that dude spotted to my left, and also I hear footsteps near the archway on the other side of the wall. So I'm trying to watch these stairs for them to come in. And my teammate throws a smoke. This was another interesting moment where I was just like, I was literally talking to my monitor. I was like, Chase, why would you throw that smoke, man? It's not gonna, it only helps the enemy. You guys have those moments where you're just like talking to the monitor? Like that's insane, right? But yeah, right here I make a mistake. I should have placed the mine immediately, but I was just being too indecisive, which is a bit of a gameplay weakness of mine. I overanalyze things, and I end up not making decisions at all, but... Brewski! Same spot. This is what I mean. This guy killed you from the same spot. Now, would it be funny if he never moved from that spot? Yes, it would be. However, I'm pretty sure he like just got there. Just to be completely fair to him, right? If he actually did stay there for the entire game, the militia I would start would be an anti-Brewski militia. Though I do like some Brewskis every now and then, if you know what I mean. Anyways, we spawn on C. And I'm using the back alleys again. I'm just trying to get quick picks on the guys on the other side of the bus. Now here we notice there's a tank that's pulling out of their HQ spawn. So my idea here is to try to masterfully bait. And I'm going to do that by placing a mine outside his field of vision. So if he drives by, he'll get shot. And then I go to the second floor of the building so that I can wait for him and get the top and ass shots I need to kill him. But unfortunately, this guy's a fucking coward and he leaves. And I'm a brainiac and I actually believe that nonsense. So of course, I run back to the point and get shot back by him. Yeah, he didn't actually leave. He just slid back for a second. I'm a fucking moron. But it happens. It's also, I will say, you definitely you snowball playing worse when you're tilted. And that was definitely a situation where I really should have known better. Now right here, I heard a recon like sniper crack, so I go, okay, we can't have this guy spawning dudes behind us. So I try to track him down, but he's pretty dead. Now we're losing C again, so once again, using the back alleys. You'll notice that I use a lot of the same routes because I just found they work the best. And definitely using the back alleys on C is the move, especially when we know there's a tank watching the long line of sight. And even here, I'm using the cover of the pillar next to me. At any given moment, I'm trying to expose myself as little as possible, and the part of myself that I expose, I want to be actively looking at and scanning. Excuse me. So right here, I get inside the bus. And the reason I do that is because, well, first of all, cap weight. Second of all, the way that Battlefield 6 works. For some reason, if you're shooting an explosive from outside to inside, like half the time it'll get stuck on like metal railings and shit. So if you're like inside of the bus like that, there's a good chance that the tank shot me. He would be completely ineffective. Yeah, this dude's doing parkour. Doesn't work out for him. Yeah, so right here, I'm once again trying to push the D archways. Because I noticed that one of our squad mates is pushing down that backside. Nobody else is here, so I'm like, okay. Okay, so right here, I hear a motion sensor. And a motion sensor usually means a camping recon. Let's see what we find. Look at that, it's a camping recon. Who would have thought that after playing this game I would have known that? But also, I suspected at the time as well. Yeah, a motion sensor is a dead giveaway that there's probably some guy playing a very sedentary game style, if you know what I'm saying. But nope, back on D. Same spot. Picking off deuce to the crack in the wall. I'm a bit of a crack bandit. I love me some crack in Battlefield 6. The wider, the better. But yeah. So right here, I know we get taken fire from the second floor. So I'm trying to stick on the far side of the crate. I see a tank briefly. I don't want to take a shot quite yet because I know it's going to 3D spot me and minimap spot me. And he has APS on at this point, so I'm just waiting. And get his ass, but as I said, 3D spot and minimap spot killed me immediately. Honestly, completely worth it. If you can trade your life for a vehicle, you're doing the right thing. Yeah, so right here, still trying to get on D. Probably should have ran to E here, but I would have gotten killed by these guys anyways. That's just a bit unfortunate. Now here, I'm trying to decide whether to spawn, on my squad mate or spawn E. And ultimately, I decide to spawn E with LAV because there's two vehicles here with no infantry support. And that's a nail in the coffin for them, alright? Vehicles in this game just don't survive without infantry. So my plan here is to do a similar move I did earlier. See, I'm going to peek here real quick, see if I can spawn anybody. I can't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push that wide angle alley, as I did previously, because I want to cut them off further up the choke point. Remember this guy. Remember where he came from. That'll come in handy later. But yeah, because I pushed up, I have a much easier angle to actually push now. I have a good head glitch. These guys aren't too aware. And anytime you can take a fight of an advantage, you should. Here we have some unaware enemies. Now remember where these guys came from, because they couldn't have gone from down the stairs because my teammates were there. So that must mean they come from somewhere else, right? And they can't come down the stairs, because if they came down the stairs, I would have seen them when I was actually on this rampart here, like I would see this guy right here. So they must have come in between the stairs, somewhere around this area where D is on conquest. And now I hear the spawn beacon. And it is second floor here, and boom. Yeah, so you always got to be thinking, like, where could the enemy have come from, right? Like, what made them, like, how is it possible? Because if you, like, that's how you find these spawn beacons. If we didn't find that, those guys, that squad would be spawning there the entire fucking game. They would have been contesting E all the time. But at least in this case, we'll clean them up. Now right here, back on D, you see that sniper glint? At this point, I knew I was spotted, and unfortunately, because of that, I get fucked by NK. I absolutely hate the spotting mechanic recons have. I hate that they can look in your general direction. It's just like, there's just like the fucking bat signal on you. But, you know. And as if that wasn't infuriating enough, I get absolutely fucking shit on. And at this point, I know that I gotta get it back. There's no way. I cannot let this happen, alright? So I spawn back. I have a general suspicion where he is. This time I'm playing it slow, plenty of cover. This guy peeks. That might have been him, but I'm not sure. No, that was him. There we go. Same kind of blue laser. Yeah, at this point, the game's getting a little bit out of hand. We just been losing every point, and it's just one of those games where I can't be anywhere all at once, and this is also infuriating. But it's one of those games where I was just bouncing between like every point, just doing what I absolutely could, but it just wasn't working out, and it was so frustrating. Especially once again on a night that I was trying to just chill out a bit. But yeah, at this point I noticed their entire team is pushing D up the middle. Their vehicles are in the back. Our team's never going to push through with those vehicles, especially with so much infantry support. So I flank around. I try to get an awkward angle. This is the kind of benefit of flanking. People don't really expect you. And vehicles as well. They have even less situational awareness. And you can get those juicy side shots like I'm doing right now. But yeah, see the tank is low, so I'm going to keep pummeling him. Get his ass. Now, I see the LEV on the far side as a bit of an awkward position. I see him get hit. And so I know that I have a small window to hit him and kill his ass too. And check out this ending sequence here. So there's a tank next to me. I placed the mine to bait him a little bit. I have one RPG left, so I make the most of it. Hit him with an ass shot. And here, I got nothing left, boys. It's the end of the game. I gotta do something. So I'm trying to repair tool this tank down. I get under his turret. There's guys coming out like a clown car. I'm just... yeah, boys. Just what a ridiculous sequence of events that was. But yeah, despite my best efforts, fucking L. But just beep the scoreboard for a second. Like, what am I seeing? Like, look at the teams there. What is this absolute... What is this balance, boys? Like, their team had, like, 4 me's. My team had me, if you know what I mean. It was just such a goddamn grind fest, and just to end on such an L. But I hope you boys at least enjoy my pain, suffering, and adversity as I narrate this shit. Honestly, this is how a lot of games of Battlefield end. You do what you can with what you got, but sometimes the team gap is just insurmountable. But not every match can go the way you want, and leveling up your game is all about being consistent and not getting discouraged, regardless of balance. You can't win them all, but you can have the other team earn it. If this breakdown helped you think differently about how you play Battlefield 6, let me know in the comments. I also have a ton of content planned for y'all in the coming months, so hit me with a like and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I cannot believe that I'm probably going to hit 5K subs by New Year's. It's honestly absolutely unreal. But take it easy, sayonara, and peace.